Hello, world. Welcome to another podcast of It's Not You, It's Autoimmune, with your hosts, Dr. Jocelyn Eberstein and Anna Strong. Dr. Jocelyn Eberstein has over 25 years of experience as a doctor of Oriental medicine, acupuncturist, and functional medicine practitioner. And Anna Strong, diagnosed with scleroderma in 2016, a comedian and producer, is the founder of the Strong and Golden Foundation. Together, they are stronger and wiser. You got this, America, where good health is just a podcast away.
Hi, and welcome back to our loyal listeners and our first-time health seekers to It's Not You, It's Autoimmune. It's your 45-minute timeout to be informed, inspired, entertained, and empowered. I'm your host, Dr. Jocelyn Eberstein. I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine, a functional medicine practitioner, and a licensed acupuncturist. And I started the E-Center, a wellness clinic in Los Angeles in 1990. And I believe it's your birthright. And I mean your birthright to be healthy. I'm here to empower you to be healthy, get healthy, and stay healthy. And I want you all to live a robust life and have the health you've always wanted. All right. I'm here with my guest host, Anna Strong. She's amazing. Anna?
Hi, I'm Anna Strong. I'm a producer, a writer, a comedian, and I am the founder of Strong and Golden Foundation. And I'm on a mission to help you get the information that you need on alternative solutions, prevention, and even reversing autoimmune disease. Together, we are stronger and wiser. You got this, America. Good health is just a podcast away.
So our topic today is you are what you eat and what to eat. And by the way, you get to wear what you eat all over your body. We'll be discussing how to stay healthy during these really difficult and tough times. The name of our episode today is Dazed and Confused. What the heck do I eat? So, Anna, what do you eat?
Snacks. I'm in quarantine. I eat a lot of snacks. And I don't cook that well either. So, my timer is a smoke alarm. But I'm eating healthy snacks. You know, not the good kind of snacks, not like Cheetos and Doritos. I mean, healthy snacks. And I got a lot of time on my hands, I got to tell you, you know. I'm even thinking about picking up a hobby. You know, I'm playing board games, chess. I even read a book. It's like, who am I? You know? But I got to tell you, it's the quarantine kind of gets to you, you know. And I'm thinking about learning to knit. Or get somebody to make me a scarf or something, you know. What was your question?
What is it that you eat? So let's talk a little bit about this. So everybody's heard that college students send their kids away, they come home, and they're 15 pounds heavier, all right, freshman 15. During this pandemic, we have the adult version, the COVID-15. So today we're going to explain how to eat for your immune system, how to stay healthy, and how to look amazing. All right, 10 years younger is our goal. So the big topic on the table today is what you eat, and what you eat matters. So my producer tells me the other day, she's on the phone, she says, Joss, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm go to the grocery store and I must have a sign on my head that says, ask me. So she says, people are coming up to her and they're coming up to her asking, should I eat this vegetable? How many of these should I eat? Is this good for the immune system? And she says to them, I don't know, ask my doctor. So we're going to be answering all those questions and more with our guest, Lisa Thompson, a nutritional expert. She's a nutritionist. So callers, please call in to 323-524-0599, 323-524-2599. So the COVID epidemic. Okay. Yesterday we had the highest number of deaths in the country.
Yesterday?
Just yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
And today, almost the entire country is open. It's open, except for a few states. How scary is that? It's frightening. It's frightening for me. And I understand and I defend people's rights for their constitutional rights, the ability to make a living. I get it. But to disregard all of the medical advice that's been told and explained and why is irresponsible. So the facts are half of us are going to get infected. And what we want to do here on this show is say, we're going to be the other half that does not get infected. And if we do get infected, we're going to be the ones that don't feel anything or feel like they had a little flu, but not the ones that get hospitalized and die. And when we look at the death toll and why there's the number of deaths, say in a state of Louisiana, it's 7 times the rate of the entire country, 7 times. All right. And the reason is because they have what we call these comorbidities. All right. Primarily metabolic, they're metabolically unhealthy. So that means, what does metabolically unhealthy mean? It means that you have heart disease. Well, not a lot of us have that, except, the ones who do. They're down the tunnel. But, people who have mid body obesity, trunk obesity. Okay, you're metabolically unhealthy. People who have hypertension, there's very few of us that do not have something going on. As a matter of fact,
autoimmune.
Autoimmune would be metabolically unhealthy, and as well. So there's in this country, there's it's almost 90% of us are metabolically unhealthy. So that's not good. We have to look at what is the biggest problem. Probably is the weight. Because the weight drives everything. It drives inflammation, makes you way more susceptible. We had a huge article in the New York Times where the dean of nutrition at Tufts University states that being metabolically unhealthy is a big risk for immune deficiency in this country. So 75% of us are obese. Are overweight, 42% obese, and half of us are either pre-diabetic or diabetic, frankly diabetic. So we really have to look at this as a country, as a community. It's not just about us. It's about really, really looking at the planet, looking at our communities, really protecting ourselves. So we have to protect ourselves personally from what's going on with the COVID virus, from these people that I don't think are that smart or intelligent, and really make intelligent decisions for ourselves. Because if you don't make an intelligent decision in terms of keeping your health, your immune system competent, you're going to be at risk, because you can wear the mask, but if your immune system cannot deal with the exposure to a virus, you are going to be in trouble. All right. So it's time to up our ante on self-care, especially nutrition.
Okay, Jocelyn. Now you say the obesity problem or the overweight problem that's been going on for a long time. Is this something that maybe will shock our people into saying, okay, it's time for me to really take a look at what I'm eating?
Well, based on COVID-19, I'm not sure they are. It's a problem. It's a problem. People are reaching for comfort foods, and comfort foods. When I went to the store, by the way, they're like groping at the cookies, and that's where they're spending their time. I don't see them spending their time in the vegetable section. Just saying. Just saying. All right. So I want to, on our last episode, we explained a little bit about the mechanics of a virus. So what is a virus? I'm going to do a little recap for those of you who missed the show. So a virus is kind of like a carjacker. He comes into the car, he tells the driver, hey, I'm going to take over and you're going to do exactly what I say. So it tells the cell, you make more and more and more and more viruses until the cell is so full of these viruses, it explodes and it dies. And then all of these baby viruses just spew throughout the body, and then the whole cycle repeats itself. So, okay, and the only hope is for our immune system to get that virus when it first comes in. When the hijacker first comes in, we have to grab that virus, kill it, get rid of it. All right? So our immune system, that's what we're depending on. So what is an immune system? All right? Let's talk a little bit about that. The immune system starts in the bone marrow. And in the bone marrow, we have these stem cells, which are kind of like They're not defined. They're white blood cells that kind of don't have any personalities. So if they were soldiers, if you were comparing it to like having soldiers in an army, these are the recruits. They're getting trained in the bone marrow, and then they're sent off to war, and they look at the landscape of your body and they decide, well, you know, that's a virus, I'm going to get it. That's a bacteria, I'm going to get it. But if these white blood cells are sleep deprived, toxic, stressed out, and undernourished, they're going to be pooped out. So when they see corona, they will never be able to mount an attack. So the issue is that we send out a million of these white blood cells every 10 minutes. So minute by minute, your body, your immune system relies on what you're putting into it, what you're nourishing it. So we have to regenerate our white blood cells. Don't send out undernourished white blood cells. And we need to use food as medicine, all right? We need to eat correctly and take responsibility. We have to make informed and intelligent decisions on behalf of our immune system. All right.
So if you eat the wrong things like cookies and Cheetos and Doritos and all that stuff, then your immune system is weaker?
It's very weak, especially, but it's on a moment by moment. It's not like, oh, I did good today. Well, you did good today, but then you had 3 months of crap eating, and so you got 15 pounds on. I mean, people are using comfort food as medicine, honestly. So it's not really medicine. I know people think, oh, this is a tough time. I'm really stressed. I'm confined. Oh, the weather's so good. I don't know what to do. I don't like my spouse. I didn't sleep last night. I didn't feel good. Work sucks because I don't even have any work. So they'll reach for the cookie. They reach for the candy. They reach for the cake. They reach for the chips.
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni or the creamy folks. So the thing is when I look at myself and I look out there in the world, comfort food really never made you feel comfortable, except for the 5 minutes in your mouth. Well, the Merlot, the Furlough Merlot, the big wine, the big bottles of wine, well, maybe that lasts a little longer, but you definitely feel bad the next day.
But don't you think we learn that as children? Because, when you do something good or if you feel bad, your mom would, make you something like a piece of pie and say, here, this makes you feel good. And that's why it's comfort food.
Well,
we learned that as very, very little people.
Well, you might have learned that, but right now it's not the way to go. In my household, my son thinks that soybeans are our comfort food. So I'd like to introduce to you right now our guest, Lisa Thompson. She's a functional nutritionist, which means that she uses nutrient-dense foods to really change your metabolism. All right, to correct metabolic deficiencies and metabolic imbalances, which is why it's a problem. It's a problem out there right now. And now it's been documented, and they talked about my whole show in the New York Times. So I guess I was on track. All right, Lisa, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for taking time out of your day.
Hi, thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So we wanted to introduce the viral food plan, the Viral Buster food plan. And it's basically really simple. So all we're going to be doing is it's a Paleo-Mediterranean-based food plan. So we're mostly eating plants and so unrefined foods, mostly unlimited quantities, which is really, really, really fun. Veggies and fruits. Do you notice I said veggies and fruits? Okay, not fruits and veggies. Okay, veggies and fruits. That's a reason. Minus the white potatoes. Okay, white potatoes is candy. All right, so if you think that big baked potato on your plate is a vegetable, no, not on this plan. All right, 7 to 10 servings a day. We like a half a cup of cooked vegetables, that's considered a serving, or a whole cup of fresh vegetables. So fruits are also candy. We'd like you to limit it to 1 to 2 fruits a day. Here's the good stuff. Okay, you can have as much fat as you want. All right, as much oil as you want, as much, anything fat is on the table. And the more fat you eat, the less fat you're going to be. So we're talking about things like avocados, like really pull out the olive oil, really pull out the avocado oil. Nuts are really, really good. By the way, peanuts is not a nut. And if you're going to eat a peanut, I want you to chew at least 10 times each time. So, and then protein, finally protein, high quality proteins, and don't eat any proteins that you're allergic to, okay? So, Lisa, could you explain a little bit about this food plan? Tell me what a Paleo-Mediterranean diet is.
Sure. So a paleo or caveman diet, as it's known a lot of times, is mostly a low carbohydrate with food plan emphasizing meats, fats, and healthy all around. Non-starchy vegetables, again, so that's no potatoes. Although occasionally in a paleo food plan, you might see some folks having a little slow, low glycemic carbohydrate, which would be like a sweet potato or a yam. But it's really, traditional foods. And again, fats, it's a predominantly fat. 40 to 70% of your daily food intake is probably coming from fat. Avocados, coconut, nuts, seeds, olive oil, all the fats. And it's animal heavy. So, beef, lamb, bison, poultry, eggs, liver. Traditional foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, fermented foods are important. Bone broth is a big one. That's a typical paleo plan. Whereas a Mediterranean food plan, is more plant-based. You're right. It's more those foods that we find in the Mediterranean, heavy on the olive oil and mostly fish, a lot of vegetables, fruits, but also grains here in the Mediterranean plan, which would include breads and potatoes, beans, legumes, limited amounts of dairy, and very limited on red meat. That would be a Mediterranean plan. So the viral food plan that you're talking about is a combination of those two plans with the exclusion of grains, potatoes, dairy, and legumes and beans. So it's a really pretty low carbohydrate diet. And again, sometimes people don't really understand that all those starchy comfort foods like macaroni and cheese, I heard earlier, bread, pizza, those starchy carbohydrates really turn into sugar in our bloodstream. So we want to keep the carbohydrate count low to keep a blood sugar stable.
Why is this more this paleo Mediterranean more healthy?
Well, like Jocelyn said earlier, when sugar hits our immune system, it really suppresses it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't function well at all. Those poor, pooped out, white blood cells, our immune system can't do the job it's required to do. It's got no energy.
Well, I know why I like this paleo Mediterranean diet. It's because it includes dark chocolate, lots of olive oil, and a little red wine, because that's part of the plan.
You have the chocolate with the wine. Very good blend.
Yeah.
Those are powerful foods, superfoods.
But honestly, this food plan is probably the most nutrient dense, the most low calorie food plan that's available, all right? So that means it's going to boost your metabolism and it's going to boost your immune system, and that's what we're after. We got COVID-15, the 15 pounds we got to lose, and we got to build our immune system up at the same time.
That's right.
Okay, we have some callers that are lining up on our board here. Would we like to take a call?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do it. Hi, this is Anna. What's your name? Hello.
Hi, this is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Where are you from?
I'm from California.
Okay, well,
welcome.
We know what the weather's like here, don't we? It's always nice.
Yeah, I think so. Always sunny.
Well, welcome to It's You. It's Not Autoimmune. Who is your question directed to?
I think kind of just everyone, just on the topic.
Okay.
You're talking about starchy foods. So is there a kind of bread then that you recommend eating versus like a whole wheat, a multigrain, like a paleo bread, maybe made with like high fats like almond flour? Is that something that you guys can talk about?
Lisa?
Yeah, sure. Yes, exactly where you're going. Nut and seed breads. And there's lots of recipes out there online, and lots of supermarkets are beginning to carry them. But yeah, looking for breads that are made with almond flour, nut flours, coconut flour, hazelnut flour, and just real pure nut and seed breads that might be, put into your food processor to ground down a bit. Macadamia nut bread. There's some great stuff out there, and that, again, fats are really, they don't harm our blood sugar levels at all. They're nutrient dense. They're very filling and satiating. They keep us full for a long time. It's a great way to go.
I do notice that the
What about a
stores are
sourdough
doing
bread?
that too. That's great.
Well, it's fermented, and that's also awesome. It is a grain still, so you're going to have to contend with maybe a little bit of blood sugar imbalance, but load it up with butter, dip it in a bunch of olive oil, and you should be able to have a bit of sourdough if you want.
Oh my gosh, all the lines are lighting up now. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
you,
Thank you
Sarah.
very much, Sarah, for calling.
Thank
Happy
you, Sarah.
California. Let's take another caller. Hello, you're on. It's not you. It's Autoimmune. This is Anna.
Hi.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Omar, and I'm calling from the Orange County, also California.
Oh, okay. Boy, there's been some crazy people out in Orange County all protesting and getting all close to each other. How you doing out there?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. There are a lot of protests going on in the streets, but, getting by.
All right. And now because I'm a little ADD, what's your name again?
Omar?
Omar?
Yeah.
Omar?
Yeah.
What is your question?
So on the topic of, a balanced meal and, a healthy immune system, I had a question about, frozen food / frozen veggies in general. So I eat frozen vegetables, a frozen meal, maybe 3 meals a week from Trader Joe's. So I'm just wondering, is 3 meals a week of frozen food acceptable to keep a healthy immune system? And is it considered comfort food, or is it considered balanced?
What kind of frozen food? Let's start with that.
Frozen pastas, frozen chow mein, things like that. And then also
Lasagna.
broccoli.
You're killing me.
That I supplement in my regular curries. I don't know if it's considered healthy or not.
Well, I can answer a little of that question, then I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. So I don't think that the comfort foods, the pastas and the lasagnas, unless they're vegetable lasagnas, are that healthy. I do think that cost effectiveness, cost-wise, you're going to get almost the same amount of nutrition from a frozen vegetable and at a lesser cost than if you get it organic and fresh at the store. So in that respect, that is a way that you can cut a little bit of the cost of vegetables and maybe put them over on the meat side, because on the meat side, that's where I'd like you to spend your money when we're eating high quality. All right. And then Lisa, what do you think?
Yeah.
Lisa? Do you have any thoughts on this?
So again, frozen vegetables are fine. And I would stay away, or I'd be really conscientious at looking at those food labels on any kind of frozen pasta or lasagna or anything like that. My rule of thumb when I'm working with clients is 5 ingredients or less if it's processed, and that's even frozen. Anything that comes in a box, a can, a package, 5 ingredients or less, and that you can, pronounce every single one of those ingredients.
Yeah.
If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
Yeah. But for, frozen vegetables, it's a great way to save money, and it's, it's not going to go bad because it's already frozen. And most vegetables now that are frozen, they're flash frozen right after they're picked. So, their nutrient level is at a high amount. So I would go more frozen vegetables, less frozen packaged dinners.
So
their frozen vegetables
good.
are comparable to fresh vegetables.
Yes.
They are.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're flash frozen,
perfect.
so sometimes it's better than having it lay in your refrigerator for a while. So just as long as it's not a frozen junky food, So Omar, thank you for your question, and be safe.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's take another caller.
Yes.
Hi, this is Anna Strong. Who am I talking to? Hello.
Hello.
Am I on?
Yes,
Michael?
you're on.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm
Well-
doing all right. How about yourself?
We're doing really good.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael.
Yay.
Where are you from, Michael? Where are
From
you
New
calling
York
from?
City.
New
New York
City.
City.
All right. Well, that's a
Central
pretty
Park West on 68th Street.
pretty much ground zero then. All right. Who is your
Ground
question
zero. So
for?
I was listening in and, grinding up nuts and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a single dad. I got 3 kids and, we want to eat healthy, but we can't get the grinder to do the stuff. So where we go from here, right? So just want to, we can't have all, I've listened to all the people that called from California and they seem to be having a good life and they can go shop for nuts and, lettuce and all that kind of stuff. But if you're, in the middle of the throw and you have 3 kids in Manhattan and you want your kids to be healthy, you're not going to have the time as a single dad. So the main thing is get my kids healthy. What can I make in 5 minutes and get them out the door?
Wow,
Now they can't go out the door.
That's a good question.
I have an answer.
I'm just saying the other callers, they don't have any semblance of what's really happening in Manhattan. So I would like your advice on how the parents of Manhattan could actually feed their kids healthy and get out there. That's it.
Do you have an answer, Lisa?
Well, first of all, Michael, thanks for calling in. And I just wonder, what do you have access to? What can you get pretty easily? That's going to help.
No, and this is no disrespect. As a single dad, it's mac and cheese pasta. We have access to most stuff, not
Everybody
the
loves mac and cheese.
not
Lisa,
the fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
It's just more of I have access to whatever I need, but it's also being not a how do I say it? Not being a gourmet cook or having a better partner. I guess that's bad because, by the way, women are a lot better than men are.
Not
It's like, what can I do as a man to get my kids some food? No, I have access to everything, but I'm not going to grind up nuts right now.
No, you
Maybe
grind
a
them in
couple
your
months.
mouth, Michael.
Yeah, you don't have to grind
No,
them.
you chew them.
You just
You just chew them. Michael,
Yeah.
so I have an answer because I was the 5-minute cook in my house. I was a single mom. And the way we do it is it's called toaster oven cooking. There's no cleanup. And what you do is you have your toaster oven, you put a layer of foil and then parchment paper because we don't want aluminum to leak into our body. You throw in the cut up vegetables wherever you got them from, you throw on the fish, you wrap it up like a tortilla and you put it in the oven. This is how they do it in France or in Europe. It's what of it in parchment paper, all right? And you just put oil, put your Italian dressing, you're done. Just put it in for 15 minutes, grab it, you've always got food. The other key is you get a slow cooker. And that slow cooker, whatever you put in it, will last a week. All right. So
I actually have one of those.
Like a
Well, let's
crock
use
pot.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You just throw a
Soups
bunch of
and
vegetables.
stews.
I've never used
Well,
it. But
pull
I have.
it out and throw in vegetables, throw in some stock, throw in the meat, and every day, so you'll eat the meat. Okay, you're done with the meat. Put the next set of meat in it, and you'll have really and the food is so good because the flavors start to blend, and you throw in whole onions. You don't have to do anything except throw things in there. So, and you can it'll last for a week. And if you put bones in it, you'll have your own bone broth with vegetables, and it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I would focus on soups and stews so that, you've got food, you've got several meals for your family.
Yeah,
At least one or two.
Yeah.
And then, again, nuts and seeds. Focus on fats. What's going to keep those kids, satiated and energetic through the day? Avocado, nuts, seeds. You don't have to grind them. Nuts with berries.
But you can get seed crackers.
Green
They're
apples.
so good. Yeah.
And Michael, just have the kids help. And that way it becomes more of a less
More
work
fun.
for you, more fun, and they get to learn a little bit.
Yeah.
But the crock pot, slow cooker,
That's
do
the
it.
deal. Yeah.
So good luck to you, Michael, and thanks for your call.
But also, I want to say that there's a lot of dads out there that are single dads. They have no clue what they're doing because they're home and they don't know what to cook. So maybe you could do a podcast on just dads that have no
Excellent.
clue.
That's a great
Because,
idea.
I
I think all men in general don't know what they're doing.
Except
So
for
we
my
could do a
husband.
special.
I don't disagree with that. I cook pancakes. I cook pasta. I've raised
You're killing
my
me,
wife had
Michael.
a stroke, so
All
I
right,
got left
Michael.
with my kids.
Good luck.
Thank
But
you,
so
Michael.
if you ever do a podcast, dads for kids, and teach them how to cook this stuff, it would be a home run, because I know a lot of my friends that I'm talking to are struggling with this whole thing.
All right. Well, we'll dedicate it to you, Michael. We'll say it's
a
for
Michael
Michael in New
concert.
York. All right.
All right,
Good
Michael.
luck.
Thank you.
Stay
All right.
safe. Okay, we got our next caller on the line. Whom am I speaking with?
You're talking with Betty from Boston. How are
Betty
you
from
today?
Boston. I love when you call. You're like our guest speaker. You're amazing.
Our permanent guest speaker.
You had a lot of people today, and I got the wrong number first, but I've got you on right now, and I have a question considering I listened to the podcast. It was fabulous. And the question was a sugar substitute called stevia, which is a plant supplement.
Well, stevia is a plant, isn't
Lisa,
it?
you want to take that?
Sure.
Yeah,
So-
it's, yes, you want to talk?
Sure. I'll talk about stevia. So when we're dealing with sugar, and I know sometimes it's really hard for people to kick the sugar habit, so we might take some baby steps, and you might introduce stevia, which is a natural sugar substitute. It's calorie free, but at the same time, I really only want to use it for a short period of time to get completely off sugar, because what it does, it's actually maybe 100 times sweeter than actual sugar, and it keeps the taste for sugar on your tongue. So we continue to crave sugar. So it's harder, it almost makes it harder with these natural, calorie-free sweeteners, or even artificial sweeteners, which are even more deadly as far as I'm concerned and toxic. But stevia.
That's why I turned to stevia, yeah.
Yeah. And it is a healthy choice as long as we're moving in the direction of trying to kick sugar completely. That's my recommendation. How long have you been using
That's
stevia?
interesting. I've been using stevia since I stopped putting sugar in my coffee in the morning, but I can't wait to have my coffee in the morning, and it's a fabulous Puerto Rican, it's a terrazzo. It's a Costa Rican terrazzo, and it has a good taste, but I add a splash of coconut cream and almond milk, and then a packet of the stevia extract, which I buy at it's not Whole Foods, it's Trader Joe's. It's and it says right on the box that it's Trader Joe's stevia extract, and it's from the Stevia rebondiana plant, and it's been used for hundreds of years. So they're telling you that it's okay to try.
So Betty.
Yeah, well, and what I'd say is, great, you've made the switch from sugar to stevia, a whole packet. Now maybe we go to a half packet, and then maybe a quarter of a packet. And especially with your coconut creamer and almond milk, which is a great substitute and already has a little bit of sweetness. Yes. We might be able to kick that stevia completely out of your cup of coffee, which sounds delicious.
Lisa, what do you think about maple syrup?
Well, in terms of sweetener, it's a bit better. Like honey has some other beneficial properties. Maple syrup too. It's still sugar. It's still going to keep the taste of sugar on your tongue and probably induce cravings for it later.
Well, because it's
just
a brain
slippery slope
issue
with sugar.
Yeah, it's a brain issue. So when you have stevia that's 1,000 times more sweet than sugar, your brain, it pings your brain to crave. It's coming from the brain because it gives you that, it stimulates the pleasure circuit in your brain. So what you want to do is diminish that and actually have your brain calm itself down with that, from that pleasure, and usually moving towards fat is going to do that. So maybe we add a little bit more of the coconut creamer or whatever else you're doing. Or actually, I would rather use real sugar than stevia, because the sweetness of real sugar is not as sweet. And so you don't crave it. Yes, because then you want more cakes, cookies, whatever, because they're so densely sweet. So I almost prefer, but I'd like to keep your sugar down to 5 teaspoons a day maximum. All right. So so that's my take on it from a medical brain point of view.
You're sweet
That's
enough.
very interesting. Thank you so much.
You're sweet enough as it is, Betty.
Thank you
don't
so
need
much
a
for
lot
your
of sugar.
call. Thank you so much for
You're
your
doing
call.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling,
Bye.
Betty. Be safe.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Next caller. Hello, you are on It's Not You, It's Autoimmune. Whom am I talking with?
Hi, my name is Elise from Asheville, North Carolina.
Elise from Nashville.
Hi, Elise.
I love Nashville.
Hi. No, Asheville, North Carolina.
I thought it was
not Nashville.
I thought it was Nashville. I don't know Asheville, but okay. Welcome to the show.
I do.
What's
They
your
have
question?
their
And who's it
furniture
for?
there.
Yes. So between my fibromyalgia, my major depressive disorder, and sleep issues, I have a really low energy level, both physically and emotionally. And I'm wondering what would be the best way to start to heal.
There's, I want to pass this over to Lisa, but really, so your body's on fire with the fibromyalgia. You're not sleeping, so there's probably a little bit of serotonin, melatonin deficiency. And I'd like for Lisa to maybe chime in and let us know what are some great anti-inflammatory foods for her.
Mm-hmm. Well, the main anti-inflammatory foods are always going to be green leafy vegetables, celery, walnuts, salmon, broccoli, blueberries, colorful foods, and filled with phytonutrients, powerful natural chemical compounds that come from our plants. Someone with fibromyalgia who's not sleeping well, it's going to be tough, but you need to try and have a little bit of food like pretty much every few hours. That would be my recommendation. You're probably not going to be that hungry, but you need to sustain a stable blood sugar throughout the day. Another great thing that I always recommend with clients who have these types of issues, really like bone broth is a great thing. And I'm happy to put my own recipe up after the show. It's easy to make, it's cost effective, and it's a powerful anti-inflammatory filled with all kinds of minerals. That said, also, with depression, food is mood. We really want to make sure that you're eating good, healthy, nutrient-dense foods. I know it's hard to get away from those comfort foods, but if you start to build around maybe some comfort foods that you might be eating and get more nutrient-dense foods around it, vegetables, lots and lots of vegetables, lots of colors in your diet, right? Avocados, good healthy fats, nuts and seeds. I know, sounds like we're saying a lot of the same things, which these are the really powerhouse foods that we want to be putting into our body to nourish it. I hope that helps.
So the oils are going to be very anti-inflammatory for you. And if you eat some of, like avocados have a lot of magnesium in it, that is brain food. All right. It's brain food. It's fiber. I mean, I eat like 2 a day. I don't think that's a bad idea. As far as the depression, I mean, look at putting turkey in your diet every day. I mean, that's going to move you towards increasing your serotonin levels without sugar, because sugar will increase the serotonin levels as well. So we really want to address the mood in that respect. Make sure you get protein in, because the protein are neurotransmitter enhancers, and they increase that. But Lisa, I have a question. So could you tell the audience, like, what would be a great breakfast, a great lunch, and a great dinner? And thank you for your call. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate that. And I hope you got some good information. Yeah, but let's listen to Lisa, because she knows a lot.
So typically a great breakfast is good for everyone. And I recommend that all the time to my clients. It's great to start your day, within an hour of waking, with a good breakfast. And that would look like a few eggs prepared any way you like, in a good healthy fat. Maybe it's coconut oil, maybe it's ghee, avocado oil, olive oil. And I like to put it on, a couple of scrambled eggs on a bed of arugula. So a good bitter green that's also phytonutrient rich and healthy and toxin removing for us. Half an avocado and some sauerkraut. That is like a perfect breakfast for me. Now, sometimes we get a little sick of eggs, or I know I can anyway. So I might mix it up with some coconut yogurt. If you're doing dairy and you can handle lactose, then you can have full fat dairy. Organic usually is my preferred, and some nuts and seeds and berries. Just an easy, simple breakfast. Both of those you can do within, 3 minutes. So it's not that it's a huge time suck. Everybody can get breakfast into them, and it's going to stabilize your energy for the day and get you going until you can get to lunch, maybe 4 or 5 hours later, and which I'd recommend a huge salad. Again, Jocelyn said at the beginning, we want to see 7 to 10 cups of veggies every day. And that would be, a big salad that has at least 5 different colors in it. So maybe you've got, some radicchio, some celery, some cucumber, some bell peppers, some tomatoes, some mushrooms, just a big leafy green salad with all those veggies, and you're there. And then add some good protein, an olive oil and lemon vinaigrette, and you're good to go. You're going to be able to get to dinner. And then dinner might look like, another high quality protein. Maybe it's fish, maybe it's beef, lamb, whatever you like, surrounded by some sauteed spinach or grilled asparagus, whatever's in season. And maybe, a sweet potato or yam, which is also good for mood and helps build serotonin. So it's good for depression and getting that into the brain. You might also want to start with a cup of soup. Maybe it's bone broth or tomato soup. Again, more colors, but always protein. It's the building block of every single cell in our body. So protein is super important.
And I have something to add, is that when you go to the grocery store and you're always buying the same thing, you're always buying the broccoli or you're always buying the spinach, I want you to start to look just to the side of that and look at it just kind of a different vegetable. So you get other stimulation of these phytonutrients, because the more brightly colored they are, the more they're going to have potent immune boosting effects. Okay, so the phytonutrients is what we're looking for. I want you to start to vary what you're eating, because don't stay on that road wheel, because you won't have the stimulation you need in your body. All right, and the other question that I have for Lisa is, do you have to eat breakfast?
Well, everybody's different, but I would say yes, you do. I think it's really important. Again, in terms of metabolism and energy, we sort of want to stoke that fire, for the day to feed our brain and our body at the same time. It's really important. And again, healthy proteins, healthy fats, veggies at every meal. So yeah, it is important.
So from a functional medicine point of view, if we're trying to build an immune system and really leveling out our sugars, a lot of times I like to see my patients maybe skip the breakfast or make at least a 12 to 14 hour window between the time they last ate to the time they have that breakfast. And I like the break fast, because it's breaking a fast, to be more oily. So you're breaking the fast with oil. So just have that avocado. You're going to have a little bit of carbs, but that's a really nice breakfast with a little bit of salt. So
that's right. And the avocado is also filled with fiber. You know, you've got like 8 grams of fiber in an avocado.
And it blunts the sugar.
Awesome.
It blunts the sugar completely. So I wanted to thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate your
Wonderful.
time. Yeah, it was amazing having you. You were really informative, and you really helped a lot, clarify a lot of issues out there. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to do it. Let me know if you ever need me again.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Dad does. Dad definitely wants you back with the recipes.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope you enjoyed the show. It's about boosting your metabolism and boosting your immune system, because if you do what we say, you're going to look great, you're going to feel great, and you're going to beat the coronavirus. So I know this show was really information dense, and I want all of you for the next couple of weeks to take it slow. Take bite-sized pieces. I just want you to just add one healthy thing that we discussed on. And by the way, all of this information will be on the free downloads that you can get on our website. It's not you, it's Autoimmune. So say you're going to add something really good. So say you're like a carb sugar addict. I want you to add a fat. So before you go for that cookie or that bread, I want you to have that avocado and then have your bread. I don't want you to take anything out unless you're not feeling it, all right? Processed food addicts. You know, maybe you take a processed food vacation day every other day, but still add the fat. Add the fat before you open the Doritos, all right? Starchaholics, I really want you to add protein and oil. And the best way to do that, I find, is save a little bit of your dinner leftovers from last night. That way you always have something available. You have protein and oil available, so you have a little bit of meat, and throw that oil on there. All right, don't forget to download our free information on It's Not You, It's Autoimmune. I am, for this show, going to offer you
special
a strategy. I'm offering my guests because I'm really passionate about this subject, and I really want everybody in this country to get on their game, because it's scary out there. So I'm offering a 15-minute strategy session for the first 5 people who reach out to me. And what we're going to do is go over what's going on with your what problems are you having, where are you having difficulties, how can we start to step it into the right direction, and for those of you who can't get the 15-minute strategy session, I want you to Facebook us with all your questions, your difficulties. I want to know how you're doing. It's important. We're a community, and you're part of our tribe, and. Well, I want to thank you. Thank everybody. Thank you, our listeners.
Callers. Thank Lisa.
Especially Lisa. Thank you.
Thank our listeners. We're totally glad to have you. And gosh, this was such a huge amount of information. You can download this episode if you missed any of it, or if you want to write some stuff down. Definitely go to It's Not You, It's Autoimmune, and get your free downloads. Also, our sponsor, the eCenter, and Strong and Golden Foundation. Find out more about what we're doing. We're doing lots of great stuff, helping people with autoimmune, helping people like you get into the best shapes of their lives. Make a donation, and hit us up on Facebook. Ask us any questions that you want. And
thank you to the eCenter, a nationally recognized institute for cutting-edge health, making patients partners in their health. Contact us on Facebook with your questions. Don't forget that. And thank you for joining us on It's Not You, It's Autoimmune. And stay tuned for our next episode, where we're going to continue to dive deep into your health questions, health issues. Please Facebook me with any topics you want to really explore that are important to you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
See you next time.
Bye.